if you add that all up, what it means, if you're thinking about your own career, is that you have to look at what you're doing and ask yourself 3 questions. Can someone overseas do it cheaper? Can a computer do it faster? And is what you're selling in demand in an age of abundance? And that's the whole, as they say in the United States, that's the whole ballgame. If someone overseas can do it cheaper, they will. If a computer can do it faster, it will. And if you're selling only utility and no significance, no one is going to buy your stuff. And so if you think about that test, being able to do something that's hard to outsource, that's hard to automate, and that delivers significance along with utility, the routine, basic kinds of white-collar skills that we were all encouraged to develop don't pass that test. And a whole set of abilities that we haven't taken seriously enough, particularly in the United States, again, things like empathy and design and playfulness and inventiveness and seeing the big picture and connecting the dots and inventing things, those abilities now matter most in business. So that's the broad argument for a whole new mind. There are 6 key abilities that I think now matter most. They are design, story, symphony, empathy, play, and meaning. Let me talk very briefly about each of them. By design, I've already talked a little bit about that. Design, I think, has become a fundamental business literacy. If you want to be in business today, you must be literate in design. Story matters because we live in a world that's just, if you talk about choices again, a world that's a sea, an ocean of facts. Facts are everywhere, they're easy to get. So what matters more is not finding facts, but putting them in context and delivering them with emotional impact. That's what a story does. So you see story moving into marketing, you see story moving into leadership, you see story moving into knowledge management. It becomes much more important in this kind of world. Symphony is the ability to see the big picture, connect the dots, combine 2 different things into something the world didn't know it was missing. A very, very important skill. The 4th one is not just logic, but also empathy. By empathy, I mean the ability to stand in someone's shoes, feel with their heart, see with their eyes. It's a fundamentally human ability, but again, it's hard to outsource, hard to automate. That's why it matters. And so you see empathy moving into sales, into certain kinds of leadership, into a huge number of healthcare professions. Not just seriousness, but also play. There's returns to joyfulness and humor and laughter in the workplace. And finally, not just accumulation, but also meaning. This pursuit of meaning has become much more significant in advanced economies. People are looking for meaning in their work. And so companies that provide a sense of meaning and purpose and significance end up recruiting more talented people. Now, let me say a couple of last words about these 6 abilities. There's some people who say, well, I'm no good at design. I'll never be able to learn that. You know, these are all things that you're either born with it or you're not. That's wrong. That's absolutely wrong. These abilities are fundamentally human abilities. We all have these abilities. I think what's happened is that in the information age, the left brain age, these abilities have never been called out of hiding. And so they're like muscles we haven't used, so they've atrophied. But if people work them back into shape, they'll realize that they have those muscles and can develop a lot of these abilities. And that's why in the book, High Concept, we have something like 70 or 80 tools and tips and exercises to help people get better at this. Because the goal of the book was to try to show people, make an argument about how the workforce is changing, but also give people a sense of hope and some actionable tools that they can use to get better at that. So that's Whole New Mind.